top 10 biggest pay packages in Europe. At £210 million annually, Man United is barely ranked fifth. Despite not making the Champions League this season, Manchester United has one of the largest wage bills in all of European football. Other teams, though, are well ahead of them. The ability of Premier League clubs to spend is widely known, and this applies to both transfer costs and wages. That applies to all teams, not just those competing in the Champions League. Despite lavish spending both last summer and this summer by Arsenal and Manchester United, who finished 5th and 6th in the league table last season, respectively, both teams will compete in the Europa League this year. When it comes to pay, United is the 5th biggest spender in Europe. The team frequently struggles to get rid of high earners while still bringing in new players on hefty salaries. One of the most recent signings is Casemiro, and according to Erik ten Hag, Phil Jones will remain until his lucrative contract is terminated. The Sun claims that Arsenal is just outside of the top 10 European teams. Even though another team now holds the top slot, the Premier League is well represented. 10. Juventus, £130.2 million annually. Juve, the only Italian team in the top 10, has recently had to cut back on expenditure. Paul Pogba, the Bianconeri's summer acquisition, is reportedly making less money in Turin than he did at his old club Manchester United. When Aaron Ramsey's lucrative contract was terminated early, the Welsh international was able to join Nice for free, while Paulo Dybala went for Roma after his own contract ran out. Though Juve still has some players making large salaries, Angel Di Maria, who joined the team this summer on a free transfer from Paris Saint-Germain, fits that description. Atletico Madrid, £149.1 million. Under Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid has become a regular participant in the Champions League and has won La Liga as recently as 2021. Furthermore, even though Barcelona and Real Madrid spend far more on salaries, theirs are still exorbitant by European standards. The cost decreased slightly this summer as a result of Luis Suarez's departure. The Uruguayan sensation joined Nacional after returning home. In terms of earnings, Jan Oblak and Antoine Griezmann are directly behind each other, although despite a stipulation in his contract related to his temporary move from Barcelona, Griezmann appears unlikely to stay past this season. Liverpool, 8th, £151.40. Although Liverpool has often operated within its means, their continuing ascent to the top of the Premier League and multiple impressive runs in the Champions League have given them more room to maneuver. Despite losing Sadio Mane this summer, many members of the squad are making six-figure salaries. The most notable of them is Mohamed Salah, who, after agreeing to a new contract earlier this summer, is now the highest-paid player in Liverpool history. The wage cost may increase before the end of the transfer season as manager Jurgen Klopp looks into midfield transfer options. 7. Man City, £154.4 million. Given their reputation as huge spenders, some people might be shocked to see City here. Although they spend a lot on transfer fees, they rank just third among Premier League clubs in terms of wage expenditures. Erling Haaland and Jack Grealish, two recent additions, are near the top of their list, and Rodri, whose contract was extended, is among the best earners. With an estimated £400,000 weekly salary, Kevin De Bruyne is City's highest-paid player and among the highest-paid in the whole Premier League. Chelsea, £198.4 million. Chelsea is close to reaching the enormous £200 million mark thanks to a bloated roster and some high-profile additions. Wesley Fofana is not included in the figures on the list, thus it is reasonable to assume that the Blues will be above that threshold when the window closes. Romelu Lukaku took a wage cut to return to Inter Milan on loan, But Thomas Tuchel's team at least got rid of one of their best earners this summer when Timo Werner joined RB Leipzig. Raheem Sterling and Kalidou Koulibaly, two summer additions, arrived with significant financial backing, though. Manchester United, $209.6 million, 5. Due in large part to the fees paid to some of their recruits under former manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, United have a Champions League wage bill for a Europa League squad. Since Cristiano Ronaldo is their greatest income, the club might benefit to some extent from the experienced forward leaving if he does. Along with goalkeeper David De Gea, two further Solskjaer acquisitions from last summer, Jadon Sancho and Raphael Varane, are also paid well. Under Erik ten Hag, United made investments in both wages and fees, and they undoubtedly hope that Casemiro, a recent addition, can support both. 4. Bayern Munich, $227.9 million. The ranking of Bayern Munich is significant for two reasons. They can compete financially with the best in Europe, as evidenced by their high total, but it also reveals how much spending power they possess in comparison to their Bundesliga rivals. Although Robert Lewandowski's pay was cut this summer, there are still many players making six figures per week. One of them is the recently acquired Maine, along with veteran the mainstays Manuel Neuer and Thomas Müller. Barcelona, £234.9 million. Barcelona still owes Lewandowski's salaries, whereas Bayern no longer does. The highly compensated new arrivals at Camp Nou this summer, including Jules Koundé and Franck Kessié, also include the Poland striker. This summer, Barcelona hasn't simply been seeking to get rid of high-earning players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Memphis Depay, and others. In addition, they have been battling Frenkie de Jong for his own unpaid salaries while also releasing economic levers to free up money for other uses. Real Madrid, £245.5 million. Like their tough competitors, Real Madrid is not stingy when it comes to paying players big bucks. There are more instances, but Antonio Rudiger's free transfer arrival earlier this summer provided one. Karim Benzema, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric might not have much longer on that kind of money as they are three of Madrid's elder team members and also three of its top earners. Even with the concessions made with the release of Gareth Bale and Isco over the summer, players like Eden Hazard and Vinicius Jr. are still making a lot of money. Paris Saint-Germain, £355.1 million, is the first. That's not a typo, either. According to data from The Sun, PSG actually has a payroll expenditure that is £100 million higher than every other team on the continent. It turns out that maintaining one of the most well-known front threes in the world is expensive, with Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappé all making significant weekly salaries. With PSG locking down the French international to a new contract despite interest from Madrid, Mbappé's take-home money has increased as well. Additionally, the French champions have been attempting to offload certain players who make six figures each week but are not on the first team. However, even if players like Mauro Icardi and Julian Draxler leave, together with Thilo Kehr's permanent departure and Gini Wijnaldum's loan departure, it is unlikely that this will be enough to displace them from first place. Please click the subscribe button to show your support for the channel, bro. Many thanks.